My guest today has 1.5 million followers on Instagram and is such a sweetheart. You are going to love his energy. We talked about his journey in the acupuncture world and holistic medicine world as well, because he doesn't just do TCM or acupuncture. He's very well rounded because he leads from the heart. He leads from his intuition, and I love that. He's in Guatemala right now, but he's a Canadian. You're going to love this conversation. There's so much to unpack. Are you ready? Let's go. I'm so glad you're here. We have been connecting online for a long time now, and you are an amazing Instagrammer. You have over 1.5 million followers at the time of this recording on Instagram. You're also on TikTok, and you make really great, interesting videos because it's not just about TCM or acupuncture, but it's about energy healing and a lot of other complementary medicine. First of all, you're in Guatemala in Central America, which I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. Before we talk about how you ended up in Guatemala, I would love for you to start at the beginning, how you ended up doing TCM, studying TCM.
What really kicked it off was I did 4 years in the Canadian Army, and right away I knew I didn't want to be there, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to do my 4-year contract and get out. And even before I got in, I applied for the Navy, and I was like, I just want to travel, and why not get paid to travel? I was a college dropout, couldn't afford school. And my last year, I was a vehicle technician and just going through the motions trying to finish. And I had this 14-foot fall, near-death experience. And at the time, I was like really buff, a lot of muscle, zero flexibility. I couldn't even sit cross-legged without falling backwards. And I was pulling this container out of the back of a truck that was parked on top of a sea container, like an unloading dock. So we were 14 feet from the ground, and I pulled really hard. And the wall of this container that I tried to pull snapped. And with that force, I flew out of the back of the truck. And I'm free falling through the air. I'm gonna die. And all this flashed through my brain as I'm free falling through the air, staring up at the blue sky with some clouds. And then I just felt peace rush over me. And I was like, well, it was a good life. I was 100% sure I was gonna die. So all these memories started flashing through my brain, and DMT released, a powerful release of DMT. I hit the ground and I didn't die. If I wasn't so tight with my muscles and had so much tensegrity in my body would have shattered. But because I was weightlifting for a good 8 years straight, that held me together. And that kind of set me on a path. So when I got out of the military, I was on disability for back injury. They helped me pay for school, and they gave me a few options after my testing. And one of them was RMT, which is like a 2-year massage program in Canada. At the time, I was getting into yoga, doing personal training, and trying to heal my pain. And I decided to do that schooling because it was the most aligned with what I was doing, but I really didn't want to massage people at all. I did want to learn the anatomy, and I did want to learn what they learn, because massage therapists in Canada have actually more anatomy than medical doctors. You live in Canada, so you know they're quite well educated. I have a lot of experience with psychedelics in my life. I started using them very young, had a very hard childhood, and used them to numb myself. During that time, I was becoming sober from using drugs for over a decade. Alcoholism, and I smoked weed for 17 plus years, almost daily, even when I was in the military. I go to this ayahuasca ceremony and I'm in so much back pain. I'm becoming spiritual, religious, starting to read the Bible and have a relationship with God. But I want to have a relationship with God and want to figure out balance in my life. And the shaman laid out some oracle cards. So I picked it. I was the last person to go. It said healer. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. When I read the meaning of the card, it was literally 2 minutes after I said, I want to have a relationship with God. And then I picked this healer card, and then it said, God works through you as a healing angel. You have healing abilities. Everything is divine and in perfect order. Something clicked in my brain. I think I just found my purpose in life. And then from that moment on, I'm dedicating my life to being in service to humanity through healing. I knew why I was here on earth, and I was ready to take on life. I've never felt such gratitude and peace and excitement for life because I had a purpose finally. And ever since that moment, I took every single course I could get my hands on. I did a year of holistic nutrition. I went to India to study Ayurveda. I did neuro-kinetic therapy, functional range conditioning, anything related to body work. And I realized all the crazy childhood traumas that I had to do trained me for where I'm at in life and trained me to hold space for people. And I want to study acupuncture because, it's hard on the body to massage, and I'm getting good results too. I'm getting a lot of results and people are coming back, and I'm like, hey, there's something here. The first time I ever got acupuncture, I was camping with some friends in Algonquin on a lake. And I was with a couple naturopaths, and they were both going to just give me some acupuncture. So I sat down, and it's like sunset, and we all ate some psilocybin. They put some needles in me, and when I was sitting in the meditative position getting needled, I seen these flashes in my subconscious, in my mind, and it was the channels. So first they did Li4, and I seen the whole Li channel light up in my mind. I think they did the 4 gates. They did liver 3 after, and I seen the liver channel like that. And then every time they did a needle, I seen these channels light up. And then I just got attacked by a swarm of mosquitoes. We all did. Sunset, lake country, and I have all these needles in me, and I really want to keep them in me because it's feeling amazing. But yeah, we all had to take the needles out and then run into the tent and hide. But fast forward another 2 or 3 months, and I start acupuncture school and start studying the channels, and I'm like, oh, I've seen these before. Like, this is cool. Then in school, I just started having these amazing things happen to me. Went to Ontario College of Traditional Chinese Medicine. It was a really good school. I had an amazing mentor, studied 25 years in China. He was legit, doing some pretty crazy needling stuff. I get to school, eyes are all bloodshot, and I'm flushed in the face, red cheeks, a lot of wind in my neck, stiff neck, like just classic TCM symptoms. Then he just put a needle in the sensory line in the skull and just twirled the heck out of it. And then all of a sudden, everything just instantaneous. Eyes went from bloodshot to white. It just drained everything, and I just felt normal. And the wind drained from my neck as well. Acupuncture is the real deal. This is my favorite modality.
I'm going to stop you right there before you continue, because I love your story. But before you continue, because I could see how passionate you are and how excited you are, I'm going to unpack the first part before we get to the TCM and post-TCM, right? I love, first of all, that you're vulnerable enough to say that you've had some tough time and you've done a lot of difficult things like being addicted to different product, alcohol, etc., etc. I really thank you for sharing that. That's not easy to share. The first thing I also wanted to talk about is the fact that you went to an ayahuasca ceremony. And I know that a lot of people that listen to this show may know what that is, but a lot of people may not know what that is, right? First of all, I want to know where you went. I have a friend who went to Peru a few times. She went to Costa Rica a few times. She's done it in BC as well. But basically, it's plant medicine and it's psychedelic. Where did you go to do ayahuasca? I think a lot of people may not know what exactly ayahuasca is. I've never done it. I have a little bit of something I have to work on, control issue. And so I've never even smoked marijuana.
I've been working with it since 2015, and the first time I did it was in Mexico. The second time I did it was in Canada, in Ontario, and this is the time where I had my life-changing experience. And since then, I've probably done it about 20 times. I've been working with it here in Guatemala as well. It's a psychedelic medicine where it basically cleans you out. It can help clean you from the inside out, and that's why it helps you purge, because you can then release these things that you might have been holding on to your whole life. It helps you look at things differently, and once your perception is different of something, then you may never be the same. And usually this happens in really beautiful ways because it helps you realize things that are not easy to experience and realize, and sometimes it just lifts that veil and cracks open your heart, and that's what it has done for me in a big way.
That's awesome. And I love that you also shared that when you had acupuncture with the naturopathic doctor in Algonquin Park. So if people don't know what Algonquin Park is, it's a big park in Ontario, north of Toronto. And I've been there in May when it was swarming with black flies. So I get the mosquito thing because it was so crazy. We went camping and canoeing, and I had never seen so many black fly in my life. Like, I couldn't eat. And I remember thinking, I'm never going back there again. But everybody told us, you went there in May? What a bad idea. So that's kind of funny. But while you were needled, you felt obviously energy and you saw the meridian. That's an experience that most acupuncturists or people that work with acupuncture have never seen or have never felt. Like, I felt the meridian all along the path, many times, but I've never seen them in my mind, or there's never been, vision of them. So I love that you did. And the reason you did is because I think you're really open to experiencing things without being scared. I think that gives you the advantage, because a lot of people, like for me, ayahuasca scares me. So with you, if you're open to it, then you're going to experience a much beautiful picture. So I love that you shared that. Did you know I created 3 books to support your TCM journey? Often I'm asked, Clara, what's the difference between all 3? Well, they all have fun, colorful visual to make them much more easy to grasp and understand each concept. They're definitely not your TCM typical boring dry books. They are available in hard copy and they ship all over the world. But if you'd rather the digital version, they all come with video links to complement them and can be downloaded on any device. My first book, Acupoint Made Easy, this is the orange one, covers all acupuncture points' function, location, depth and angle of insertion, including special points categories, extra point cupping moxa, and all my clinical pearls. My second book, Chinese Medicine Made Easy, which is my green book, covers all TCM foundation, diagnosis, yes, including tongue and pulse, with lots of colorful visual to help you grasp specifically observation, right? Case studies, and my digital fillable intake form for you to use with your patients. My third book, Chinese Medicine Treatments Made Easy, that's my purple book, covers all TCM treatments for 160 syndromes, including acupuncture points, herbal formulas, diet, ear acupuncture, and many other TCM tools. So you can have that book at your fingertips every day in clinic. It is a must for all practitioners. I provide sample for each of my books that you can download to see if this is really truly what you were looking for, because I want you to be happy with what you're investing in when you invest in any of my products. You can check out the links to all my books in the show notes below, or go to my website, acuproacademy.com, and on the menu tab, click the shop tab and get your copy today. I'll let you continue with your journey into the TCM world.
I went to school and just started incorporating it into my practice, basically. I already had a really, really powerful bodywork practice, and just adding in the needles into the bodywork that I do. And I work with these medicines in practice as well. They just complement each other so well. I had a lot of back pain in school, still in back pain. And my mentor, who I had mentioned, he put a 3 Sun needle perpendicular in L5S1. Being an anatomy nerd, I'm like, how does that even work? Isn't there an intervertebral disc? What's up with that? Doesn't that puncture an organ? Because that is deep in a very sensitive area. But that really helped my back. Acupuncture is just so deep. Chinese medicine is so deep, and I feel I don't even scratch the surface of it. I actually kind of fell off of the Chinese medicine diagnosis, and I will just intuitively put needles where I believe they need to go and just trust. And the results have always been fantastic and really powerful. And the body's just so smart, and it just realigns itself basically.
And it's interesting because I've been told many times, and I absolutely go about this all the time, is that your intention with your needling is more important than the points you're selecting. So the way you have your intention, you decide this is where I want to needle this person. Your intention makes a huge difference because it's energy exchange, right? So I love that you use that, because sometimes people feel, specifically new practitioners, are like, oh, I don't think I have the right diagnosis. I'm like, follow your intuition. What do you think this person needs? However, I feel like sometimes people think with their brain too much, not with their heart. So the brain gets in the way and it gets stuck and it doesn't know what to do, instead of going, well, what does my heart feels, right? And we forget that your intuition will make a huge difference. I appreciate you share that. Now, how did you go from there to where you are now in Guatemala? And by the way, we'll have the link in the show notes below, but Key is in Guatemala and has a beautiful retreat center, which is called Maestro, which I love that, the Maestro. I think that's so cool. And the pictures look amazing. I mean, it's beautiful and it's peaceful and it's basically a healing center. So can you tell me how you got from where you were in Ontario to Guatemala?
I finished school and I knew I didn't want to live in Toronto. I love ocean. I love mountains. That place doesn't have either. And I love BC so much. So my plan was to move to BC. So I get to BC, and then I had an offer to go to Switzerland to go do some treatments and ceremonies. So I flew to Switzerland and got an offer to move there. Okay, I'm moving to Europe. And then I packed my bags and went to Europe. And then while I was in Switzerland working, I just kept getting these like really loud signals to move to LA. I'm listening, I hear you, like super loud ones. And I decide to get my things, go to LA, and that didn't work out. I was having a lot of hard times with finding a place to stay and just getting pushed in other directions. And I went back to Switzerland. I worked there for a while, and then went to Canada for a little bit to visit my family. And then I went back to LA. Then I had an invite to go work in Brazil and an invite to go to Lake Atitlan. And so I come to Guatemala. I flew into the lake, and you can take a small propeller plane into the lake. And the second I flew over the mountain to the lake and I seen it, I just got this big jolt in my body. I'm supposed to move here. I don't know why. So then I came here, spent 2 weeks, went back to LA, got all my stuff, got rid of my place, came back to Lake Atitlan with all my stuff. My intention was to simplify and to focus on my craft. So I have a full modality in my head. I have this thing I created called channel flossing that I have yet to share with the world. And all these things that I'm just so excited to share, but I've just been traveling and spreading myself thin and trying to get grounded and find the right place to do it. Then all of a sudden I seen this Facebook ad for this retreat center that cost $1.2 million, and I didn't even have 6 figures in the bank. And I just went to look at it. I'm just curious because it was like this beautiful mandala on the ceiling and this spiral staircase. And it was like the most beautiful staircase I've ever seen. One thing led to another, and I decided to put my life savings down on a non-refundable deposit and trust that this place was meant for the work that I do, which I felt in my heart that this place is really meant for the work that I do. Like it has a sound dome and a dark room and a beautiful temple. It's just like prepared for the work that I do.
I think it goes back to that card you had when you did the ayahuasca in Ontario, where it says healer. You went back to that, right? Like being in a retreat in Guatemala that feels like home, that feels what you want to do. Then that's the healer card. It's like, okay, all those things I've learned, all those places I've been, I can gather all that information and utilize it here with all the modalities and just make it a beautiful retreat. Because sometimes, just like you did, a lot of people need to get away from where they are in order to heal. They need to go somewhere else, like a retreat where you are in Guatemala, to kind of start their healing journey, because they need to be removed from their environment in order to allow themselves to see something else. So I appreciate you talking about this and the risk you're taking, because yes, you're right. When you don't have all the savings right now, you're also looking at if anybody want to invest or donate to help you grow the center, then we'll put the link in the show note for that as well, because I think that's important if people want to contribute. Can you tell me what modalities will be used when people go there?
It's going to be the home base for Bioculture and Holistic University, which is really exciting. So the Bioculture guys are doing retreats that is a mixture between a brand or multiple brands, some creators, and guests. And then they have this really cool experience where you work with a brand, you create content, you hang out with a bunch of other creators, and there's some guests who get to enjoy that experience as well. Every retreat's different, but whoever wants to co-host it, like they bring their own magic there. As for me, I'm hosting a breathwork ceremony, as well as like some movement practices, abdominal massage. There's gonna be like ecstatic dance and stuff. And then at Maestro Valley, my main mission in life basically has been to help train more competent healthcare practitioners. Because when I was in a lot of pain, and actually I was able to go see a bunch of practitioners because I was ex-military, I had insurance. And I probably got to spend tens of thousands of dollars of insurance money seeing chiropractors, physiotherapists, massage therapists, doctors, like all the practitioners. I've seen them all. Nobody could help. I was getting told opposite things. I was leaving angry and worse off than I was before I went there, wishing I could get my time back. And I was also not in the full headspace of taking ownership of my pain too. So that taught me a lot of like, your life is your responsibility and you can't expect someone else to heal you. That is your job. And so this was good training for me. But it also made me realize that there is a lot of incompetent healthcare practitioners out there in every single modality: physiotherapists, chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists. When I go see someone, when I pay $100 for an hour, $150 for an hour to go see somebody, I want to leave feeling better than I came. And that's not always the case. They save up money to go see someone, and then they get a bad experience the first time they ever go. It's like, well, they can judge a whole modality on that one experience. It's like, oh, I've gotten chiropractic before. I don't like it. It's not good. And they'll judge all chiropractors on this one practitioner who's not good. And that can happen for any. So my mission is to hold space and help train more competent healthcare practitioners in this world. And Maestro Valley is my home base to do that, because the style of work that I share, it is effective. It's proven effective. And I know that if other people are doing this, it's going to be effective from other people as well. Over the years, I've probably gotten close to 1,000 messages of people asking if there's someone who does what I do or help from me. And I want more people to have access to really good healthcare and healing to be more accessible for people.
It's a great mission to want to have healing accessible to more people, done by people that are loving what they do and do it in a way that's very intuitive as well as intentional, which I think is really important as well. So I really appreciate you sharing this, and we'll have the link below if you guys want to check it out, because I think that's such a great idea, the holistic university retreat, because I think when we come out of school, we feel very lonely. Most of us don't have any mentor or anybody. This is why I started going online, because my students needed a little bit more. And then eventually I found out that a lot of people all over the world needed some support because they were by themselves on the acupuncture island. That's such a great thing you're putting together. Any parting words for people that are listening? And my audience, as you know, is acupuncture students and practitioners as well. I would love your parting words.
Just follow your heart, trust your feelings. Feeling is the highest form of communication. Just trust it and go for it, because we got to take risks. It's the only way to achieve the things that you desire the most, is to take risks. So just trust your heart, trust your feeling, and just go for it, because what's the worst that can happen?
That's a beautiful way of finishing the podcast. I love it. Trust your heart, follow your gut. I appreciate you being here and everything you're doing online, offline, for practitioners, for patients, for everyone, because you have such a great energy. I love your energy. It's very, very sweet, very giving. So I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, Ki. I wish you the best in beautiful, beautiful Guatemala. And maybe you never know, one day I might just show up there.
That would be so amazing. And thank you so much for what you do, because you really helped me through school. I used to watch your videos, and I still do. Your 5-element theory video on YouTube, and you just make it fun, your energy, and you really helped me through school. And I know you helped so many other people. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you, because it made a difference, a positive impact in my life.
Yay! I'm so glad. Thank you, Ki. Have a great rest of your day in beautiful Guatemala.
Thanks, Clara.
Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I truly hope you benefited from this episode, and I would love for you to share it with a friend that may benefit from it as well. Follow the show, leave a review, and if you want more, go to my website, acuproacademy.com. I have tons of resources there with treatment protocols, case studies, free courses, and so much more. And connect with me on all social media at AcuPro Academy. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, X, Pinterest, and LinkedIn and TikTok. And no matter what, keep rocking it using TCM. Please listen to the disclaimer, because the AcuPro Show podcast and material shared through AcuPro Academy, which is a subdivision of Natural Health Sense Incorporated, are designed solely for educational and entertainment purposes. The utilization of information from this podcast or any associated material is at the user's discretion and risk. This content is not meant to replace the guidance of an acupuncturist, Chinese medicine doctor, medical doctor, physician, or any qualified professional, nor is it a substitute for proper diagnosis or treatment. Users are strongly advised not to ignore or postpone seeking medical advice for any existing medical condition with their healthcare professional regarding any health concerns.